big, right?
I'm losing my boner.
I can't.
I can't either.
No.
I'm broke as a motherfucker.
I'm not broke, but I can't go. I'm saving for a better night when we go.
That's a strip club.
By the way, next week.
I thought there was a candy store.
Next week's my birthday.
That is true.
Yeah.
We're going then.
Is it on? Is it on you? No, I'm just kidding.
I-
No, I'm just kidding. No.
Next Friday, I can't film. I'm
He
going to be in
can't film.
Seattle
He'll be
on
gone.
Friday.
He's not going to be here.
I'm not going to be here Friday. What? I'm gonna be in Seattle.
So the following week after that, we can celebrate my birthday there. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Whatever.
Friday the whateverth
Zach's
of December.
coming. He said, yeah.
Fuck, I'm going to be in Jamaica.
He's going to be in Jamaica.
He's gonna
Yeah,
be.
I'm not
He's
going
going to be doing something way fucking cooler than what we're doing.
We're gonna be at the strip club like, yeah, baby, and he's gonna be in Jamaica like, John.
John.
We're at well, we have 7 days at a resort.
Kingston.
So,
Blah!
It's a middle north. It's in Runaway Bay,
Okay.
which is like right in the middle of the north coast.
I don't even know what Jamaica's at geographically.
It's in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
You don't do what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be fishing on my birthday on a
Yeah,
charter.
man.
Dude.
Where, like
Yeah.
you can catch tuna, you can catch marlin, you can catch dorado, you can catch blackjack, which is trevally, I think.
Trevally,
yeah.
I was like, I'm in.
That's so, dude. If you catch a marlin,
Those
are you allowed to transport the meat back to the States?
You can, but you have to. You
have to vacuum seal it and do all that shit.
Dry.
You know what's funny is it's actually easier to do it from Alaska because they do it all the fucking
Yeah.
time
Mm-hmm.
than it is to do it from almost anywhere else.
Yeah, they do it a lot in Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico too. They'll do it, but in Alaska's one of the
Yeah, because my
cheapest
aunts
places to
brought
do it.
meat from Mexico before,
Yeah.
fish meat.
Yeah, but when you do it from other countries and other kind of places and.
You gotta like dry ice and like vacuum seal it. It's a whole thing.
They have to flash freeze it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But I was talking, so I was like, well, I want to keep a fish. I want to eat a fish. And so I was talking to the guy. There's this guy, basically when you go, from my understanding, it's the first time I've ever done this. You talk to people, or the resort has a person, and you set up excursions. And the guy I was talking to was like, oh yeah, because I asked him, I was like, you know what, I don't really want to ship fish home. Do you guys have like a I catch you cook place?
Oh.
He's like, oh, you take it to the chef at the resort and they'll cook it up for you? Or, I wouldn't mind having fish too. I was like, shit, man, I'll share. Just get me on some fish.
yeah,
that sounds
bro.
great. So,
Dude, that's so
Yeah,
good.
He's
so I
like,
wanna
come over to
catch
my
it.
house, and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah,
yeah,
bro.
I want to catch
better.
it and then have someone there cook it and like, cook
Right.
it however you want.
Dude,
I've never
you
cooked this fish before.
You gotta find somebody with a grandma, dude, to get that shit. Like, because you know how grandmas always cook the best fucking
yeah.
food. Like, imagine somebody with a grandma that's like.
I've never seen a Jamaican grandma.
Oh,
Have you?
Yeah, I think there's a
yes,
grandma.
I have.
Cool
Yeah,
Runnings.
fuck yeah, I have actually. Yeah.
Lucky?
I mean, I mean, not in person, but I mean, I've never been to Jamaica, so.
Yeah. It's hilarious. Because, like, the people I'm talking to, obviously, they're Jamaican, and they even type, like, yeah, man.
They type yeah, man.
I was like, oh, my God. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, amen. No, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I'm excited.
You know what we haven't done yet? Welcome back to the motherfucking Go Deeper podcast, everybody.
Oh,
this is episode 20.
20?
Episode fucking 20, doggy.
You can almost drink.
We can almost drink.
Fuck.
Oh, shit.
I mean,
Hide the beers.
No, the show can almost drink.
the show can almost drink. We're drinking for the show.
Yeah. God, does that mean we gotta get super fucked up next show?
We're drinking for the show.
Dude, we gotta
For the 21st?
21st?
21st.
Oh my God.
21st.
Dodge that
Dude.
bullet, thank you.
We're drinking for the show. Faux
I'm
show.
shitting my pants on that show. That's going down.
It's happening. It's 100%.
I'm dodging bullets all night.
Right, there you go. Yeah.
Dodging multiple bullets. You're
Someone's that drunk and they're pooping, someone else is wiping their butt.
Right.
I'm not about that.
Hey, dude, all you're gonna see is like I'm gonna come on the show and I'm gonna have like a trash bag covering the chair, like sitting on plastic, and Profiles is like I'm gonna wear.
That's the one where
gas
Profile's going to be
mask.
like, you know what, guys? I'm actually going to fucking peace out from this. I hope you guys have a good night. It was fun while it lasted. I'm out.
That's the show where we should have like a girl on the show, just to be like
The one where
you
you
can-
poop yourself.
You're going to scare her off so hard.
Yes, yeah.
You guys joining us
You're gonna have
today.
your homegirl on the show and just man.
Which one?
All of them.
Whatever the one you care about the most is gonna be there when I shit my pants. That's yeah.
Yeah, no way.
Now he's got to watch out for that every time.
Yeah, now we're
If
gonna
she's
be
ever on this show, you better watch out. 'Cause I'm gonna be
like, hi, welcome to the Go
"That's
Deeper
one."
podcast.
I'm gonna be starting the show all sweating and like
He's got like a bottle of laxative. Like,
I know.
what was that, Matt? What did you just drink?
Eating plums, just
it's that magnesium,
Oh, yeah,
whatever
yeah.
that shit is, and you just drink the whole thing. It's gonna be half gone, and I just walk in with it, like, oh yeah.
you guys joining us today. Very special guest. We got his first time on the podcast. Not our first time hanging out ever. We've actually gone out a fishing trip, the three of us,
Yes, we
before.
have.
I didn't
Yes, we have.
I didn't remember that till just now.
Yep.
We sucked ass on that trip, but we went out together.
No, we did not.
No, you're right. You're
not.
right. At first we
We-
did. First half.
Huh? no, we had to change the species we were.
Yes, that's what happened.
Oh, right. We did catch some trout.
Yeah.
We did.
Caught
Yeah.
a fuck ton of trout.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
We did.
Caught them on everything too, which
Yeah,
was
no,
fun.
that's what it was. A trout trip. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
we went
exactly.
trout fishing. We did
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm convinced that's all that lake has in it. So that's
No, there's bass in there too.
No, we can fight about it all the time.
We can.
We always
We can
fight
make
about it.
I went trout fishing. I did well. That's all I'm saying.
You guys do whatever you want. I
Yeah.
won't try with it. You guys with us today. First time on the Go Deeper podcast. My man, Zach. You can find him on the socials as Fish and Forage himself, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for fucking coming through, brother. It's been way too long. I wanted to have you on a long time ago, but we hadn't gotten around to it and stuff. And he brought some ciders, and they're looking pretty good. And they're tasting pretty good. I told him not to bring any because he's coming from a
I
white.
literally, you said I'll grab some ciders. I was like, I'm grabbing ciders too. I'm gonna do it.
I wanted to grab them because you're coming from far, so I didn't want to make you drive far and then pick up ciders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I drive
So
a long
it's-
ways all the time. I live in Longview. There's nothing out there.
Oh, shit. Jesus Christ.
I like fucking Longview. I used to when I was working at Amazon, I had a couple delivery routes out there, and it was the shit. I like.
Oh, I actually have a spot that I want to go fishing near there. I'll hit you up. It's a kayak, kind of one of those kind of spots where that's.
On the Cowleys or something? Or?
It's off the Columbia. It's a slough.
Oh yeah, I know
Yes,
exactly what you're talking
you
about.
know
Yep.
Okay, so you know.
I wanna
And
go there, too.
I want to go there too.
Yep. There's actually
a bass slough.
Yes.
yes. Yep. And panfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's like a whole network.
Definitely want to
Yep,
go
the north
for
side.
bass, dude. Because I have a friend that actually he got a boat in there during high tide.
Mm-hmm.
He had to go in.
Oh,
and
it's
out.
tidal?
So he only yes.
Oh yeah, everything down there. is tight.
Yeah, but he was only able to go fish for like an hour and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
And he smacked him, and I was like, yeah, I gotta go.
Yep.
Like that's gonna be. I wanted to go before it got cold because right now it's gonna be kind of
Yeah,
it's gonna- yeah.
But we'll go when it warms up.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
I want to go with you, dude. He goes
be great.
crabbing. Is it the?
No, it's on the. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like
I drive. It's in,
that's insane.
It's
In his
very-
kayak.
I mean, I'd watch the weather, and if it's wavy, like I'm not about to do that.
That's-
It can get very bad, like very bad around there. So I watch the weather. So
You
if
were
it's
telling
nice
me you're like, yeah, I'm out there making
Like do you
eye
carry-
contact with the
Yeah.
rollers, and I'm like,
that was about the limit. I learned my limit. Literally, it was like, it started out and it was maybe like 2 or 3 foot swells,
Yeah.
and then as the tide started ripping, it started getting like 3 to 4 foot swells, and so like I was in my kayak and be like sitting on the top and then watch the swell do it down, and you'd be like at eye level with the top of the swell, like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, I actually did that one time in La Jolla.
Mhm.
So I went to La Jolla, it's like San Diego. that
yeah,
kind of
that's
area out there.
California.
Okay,
codes.
well,
That
the
doesn't-
thing is we surf launched. So we launched from the beach, and you do it on a day when it's like maybe 1 foot swell or
Yeah.
something like that. And even then, you'll see people fucking wreck
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to get out.
Beach
it's
launching
great.
is like crazy.
It's
for kayaks.
super hard. Yeah. And I
I've
have
not
pictures. I
done
have
it.
pictures of me out like 2 miles out into the ocean out there. Like we paddled way the fuck out because the way the beach is shaped, it's like comes out and there's like a point, and you have to get past that point before you can even fish.
right.
Because all that is a marine life protective area.
Oh yeah.
And so you have to get past that, and there's kelp patties and stuff out there, which I saw a shark and some other crazy shit while we were out there. Scared the shit out of me. But then while we were out there, while we were coming back in, it switched from like a 2 foot swell to like a 6 foot swell. And when you're in a kayak, okay, it's the difference of like, okay, yeah, I could see land the whole time, and then it's like, oh, land, water. Land.
It's like a
water.
roller coaster. It's
Land, water.
in a bigger boat, you don't feel the up and down as much. In a little kayak, you're like like you are like a roller coaster.
Your
It's kinda
kayak's
crazy.
doing like a belly dance, like
Yeah, and the thing is too is if you think about it, if the swell picks up like that, like obviously the waves on the beach picked up like that. We took our reels off and we tucked our rods inside the kayak and everything. I still broke a rod. Okay, I still broke a rod. I lost my radio, my VHF radio that I had. And then I lost pliers. I lost a whole tackle box. I lost
beach
a few
landings
other
are-
things. And I fucked up my fish finder to where it never worked after that.
no way.
Yeah, because I crashed so hard. I got hit in the face with my kayak too. Like when I crashed, it was like I'm crashing and then up. It was like-
Your kayak was, I told you to check the swell.
yeah, I was like picking up pieces of my kayak like all down the fucking beach.
Damn.
But everybody else was too. So it was like we all went out there and we all got fucked. It was bad. It was
That's the
great.
thing, man. I
Yeah.
don't know if I could bring. I'm a fucking puss. That's what it comes down to. I think.
So I've only been there twice. Actually, no, sorry, I've been there 3 times. Only twice in a kayak. The first time, like your boat, like no problem whatsoever.
You
Literally
think
like a lake,
Really.
not like flat lake, but like a wavy, a slightly wavy lake. But the second time, yeah, I probably wouldn't bring your boat. And
That's the thing. And did you check the weather before the second time?
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be worse.
You knew it was gonna be
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah, and it's like honestly, the launch off the beach. It's protected, and it's only like 100 yards out to where you can start crabbing. So you're not even that far from the beach, honestly.
I'm
Really?
trying to think of where that is because like I go out to that. I've been out to the area.
I'll show
Not
you.
exactly
not
fishing.
Not the internet. I actually probably already gave it away. If you want to mute that beach
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
I know. I kind of because normally if you have a place you can get to in a kayak and you go there and there's usually like fucking 10 kayaks there because there's a lot of kayak fishermen there.
Yeah, yeah.
And so yeah, I wouldn't mind actually keeping that.
Yeah, that's it. You gotta
Is
bleep
it the one
dude.
that you told me a while ago?
You gotta bleep
It's the same one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I got you.
but I'm gonna show Matt here. So right,
And you did pretty good out of like.
yeah. So there's the south, and then literally there's a road that goes up. Like literally you go off right here, and you launch, and then you paddle out about right here, and you drop your traps. If you have
So
a,
you're inside. Oh yeah. Okay.
you're barely. So actually, like if you're right here,
Mm.
you can see the weight, like the breakers crashing over the point right here.
So where's the bridge that goes?
Oh, that's way back here.
So that's back far. Oh, so
Yeah.
you're way.
Yeah, you go to the edge, like right where the jetty
Oh
is.
damn! I've never been out there. That's crazy.
Yeah, super
yeah.
like super nice.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
And if you want, so if you have a boat though, you go right here
Yeah.
and or whatever, you can mute that out. And there's a marina there.
That's the one I'm bleeping, right?
Did you just? I did for the empty beer.
It's good noise.
It was a good one.
I was waiting to open mine, and I was like, I need a cider.
I need to go crabbing, dude. I haven't gone crabbing since. I mean, I've gone crabbing like from the shore, but the last time I went crabbing from a craft was with PK. That was like in 2017.
Don't hate on me, guys, but I've never gone crabbing.
What? Do you like crab?
Fuck yeah, I love crab.
What?
Yeah. In fact, I got a.
You're in a good spot for it.
I got a story about fucking crab. So
About
okay,
fucking
so
crab.
Her name was Mercedes.
and not those kind of crabs. Not fucking a crab. It was. I'm only saying it because I was mad. I was mad about what I did. So I was in California. I went out there and I was like, I love crab. I wanted to order fucking king crab, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna order that shit.
By the
And we
way,
went
king
to-
crab or Dungeness crab, which is better?
Dungeness crab.
100%.
Way
100%.
better.
Yep.
But I went and it was like, oh shit, like that's what was like, that was like the main thing they sold there at this restaurant that we went to in Southern California, in Newport, California. And fucking, I order it and it says on the menu like market value.
Yeah, seasonal.
price
Yeah,
based
market
on
price.
market value or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh cool. So I'm like thinking, well, it's gonna be like, I don't know, $40, $50, whatever. That shit was $90 fucking dollars, dude. I was like,
Jesus.
and I told my wife, I was like, what'd you order? And she was like, oh, this crab thing. I was like, more crab. Oh, Jesus Christ!
You're supposed to ask
Dude,
the market price first.
Right? I should. Oh, gee. Oh, dude, it was so.
I tried to fucking
fucking
dine and
bad,
dash
dude.
out of there like with crab. Like,
I seriously wanted to bail the fuck out. I was like, that was the first time I've ever had a meal where I was like sweating because of the price. Like, I literally instantly started sweating, and I was like, this is fucking bad. This is fucking bad.
was it good though?
Oh my god, it was the best fucking
Yeah.
best shit I ever ate in my life. And that was the
Damn
day.
well better,
That was the. I showed you. I think I showed you some of the pictures, and I told you about it. We had my kids out on the beach because in Southern California, we can go out to the beach. You can go onto the beach and out by the water and everything at fucking midnight.
Yeah.
And we were out there at like 11 o'clock because my kids will never experience that unless we're down there. And there's
Hey,
like
why can't you
fire
go
pits
out late
and do all
at
that.
night up here?
Because I got fucking waves that just fucking come up and sweep you out, and fucking no one ever knew you were there.
I'm out there all the time. I've been out on the beach at night tons up
You're
here.
a different person.
Yeah.
No. And
I don't have
and
children.
Have you,
Going out there with
okay,
like
have you always lived
under-
up here though?
Yeah.
Okay, so to you this is fucking normal ocean.
Yeah.
To me, this is a scary black hole of fucking
Yeah.
ocean. Like
Yeah.
it sucks you in. It fucking spits fucking logs at you. Like it's
Yeah.
fucking weird. And it's
it's
weird.
it's more
But it's scary. It's
you
fucking
have to
scary.
be more leery about the ocean waters up here than California
Dude.
for sure.
Yeah, and it's fucking cold. Like all the water's cold.
Yeah, that's true.
Always cold.
Yeah, it's true.
Not even like kind of warm. Like in California, like it's don't get me wrong. It's fucking cold going in the water in California. A lot of times you go in.
No, it's tolerable.
No, there's
in
a lot of
California.
times you
It's
go
way
in
colder,
and
yeah.
your feet get numb and you do all that shit. There's a lot of
Northern
times like that.
probably.
Nope, no. I'm talking about Newport Beach, California. I grew up out there, bro. Like I'm telling you. I mean, I wasn't born out there, but I grew up out there. And Newport Beach, California, it's tolerable. You can go swimming. There's a lot of times you go in, even midsummer, your feet get numb, right?
Yeah.
There isn't a fucking time I could touch the water out here where my feet don't go numb.
Yeah,
like,
not out
instantly,
here.
Like
100%.
yeah,
You're getting
it
numb.
hurts. It hurts my life.
100%. You're getting numbed feet out here.
My buddy has a beach house in Rockaway.
No way.
We've been
I love
going
that
there
place,
since
dude.
I was
I love Rockaway too.
since before we were able to drink. Like my wife bought all of us underage people alcohol from. I actually have a pretty funny story from like local liquor
Wait,
store.
so your wife's older?
Like by like a month or two. She was
Nice.
by almost a year. She was born in January. I was born in November.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
But so we used to go out there all the time, and we would get drunk all the time. And one of the things we do is like, oh, we're drunk, we'll go run in the ocean. And so we'd go run in the middle of the night running into the ocean.
Cool, and then you get stung by jellyfish and
Are you
they-
never had that problem?
Dude, at nighttime when it's like fucking low tide and stuff, you can walk out and with flashlights catch crabs from the
Oh
beach.
yeah.
Keepers.
Yep.
the fuck?
Mm-hmm. They
Why
just
are-
chill on the beach.
Why aren't we doing this?
You just said you were afraid of the ocean.
I'm fucking terrified, but I still want to go do this.
I'm terrified, but I'm down.
So you can go like all the bay, like
Can we do
Tillamook,
this? Can we do this in Gearhart?
Yeah.
any bay.
So I can
like, there's
drive-
big
we-
sand flats in the bays, and like
Well, that's
you
in
walk
the
out
bay.
there.
Okay, yeah, it's in the.
I mean, you could do it in like
yeah.
ocean too, but the bays are usually more
Well,
productive.
see, in the bay, I don't feel as bad. Like it's not as
Yeah,
scary.
yeah, that's true.
You know, like I'm not as worried.
I
but-
watched the Ace video where he was doing that shit out of Seaside, I think. I can't
Yep.
remember where exactly he was doing it, but he was out there at night with his dad, stepping on the
catching crabs with
Yeah.
his dad.
There, if you go there in the
out
right
of
or wrong
context. That
season-
sounds really weird.
yeah, if you do that, you could do that in like the breeding season or whatever, and there's like millions of females.
Yeah, there's so many
Oh,
females.
But it's crazy because like you even not at night. Like I remember Jess and I went to Seaside once. And it was like in the afternoon, and there's tons of people who are all out in the surf like picking up crabs. I was like, what's going on? We walked down there, and there's just tons of crabs, and I kept like they were keeper-sized crabs,
But they're females.
they're
They're
all female. It was like
oh, okay, yeah.
50 females to one male. So you see like one guy walking around with one keeper, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone else is just like, nope, female. And they all have eggs because they're actually.
I don't
spawning
even
up
know how
there.
to look to see if they're male or female. Like they don't have little dicks.
Come,
Like
we'll
they don't
go.
have little dicks and little badges.
They actually kind of
So
do.
Do they really?
They have,
oh,
so
okay,
they,
cool. 'Cause
so
it's-
they have a
oh, hey, look at that.
yeah.
Like,
So the
it's-
bottom
oh,
of the
okay.
crab, they have like this. It's like a
like a tail that
apron
tucks
or
under.
something.
It's like
yeah,
this.
and so the long and thin tail is
the
male, and the fat and wide tail.
But
is
what if
female.
they have like the Okay, so the fat and wide tail is the
Female.
male? Is the female.
Female.
Okay, so the long, thin one, what if it identifies?
Shut
as
the
one?
fuck up.
Crabs are way behind on the time. Crab time is like 1980. They're still fucking figuring out smoking in restaurants.
Okay.
Yeah.
right. They're all at Denny's. All
Crabs are so far behind, their kids don't even ride in car seats and like that.
Yeah. They got the dashboard baby holder.
Jesus friggin' Christ. You comment, I'm switching gears here a little bit, because you comment a lot about on our podcast videos when we bring up our shit stories or when we have guests talking about shit stories, and you always comment, bidets. You guys are fucking up because you don't got any bidets. Talk to me about some bidets.
You're
Actually,
the only one.
I am
here.
the only
Yeah, you are the only one that doesn't have a bidet.
Do you have a bidet?
Oh well, you're not on camera. You're the only, but you count. I
You don't
guess.
get it.
Yeah,
You don't
whatever.
get an opinion.
You don't get a fucking say. And by the way, he doesn't have a microphone still because we forgot to bring.
I
it.
forgot my mics.
It's
And we
right
tried-
there.
we-
That,
well,
look, pull it down. I tried to plug it in just now, but
it actually
it's
the bottom's dented.
it's
so you
dented, so I
can't-
can't put my XLR thing in it.
Yeah.
I tried. We tried when you went.
Bidets though, seriously, like.
Yeah.
both
You know what a
ears.
bidet is, bro? See?
Yeah. My first experience.
It's a
It's a-
shower for
Yeah.
your butthole.
He
enjoys it all the time.
It's
He
amazing.
does.
I do.
You will
I love
too.
it, yeah.
He spreads his cheek like deeper, baby.
I do, and I wiggle around like.
You gotta. Clear out
but
the
the
whole
thing
spot.
is, no, but you really do have
Yeah.
to do that, like, because you have to get it clean, bro. Like, you fucking wiggle a little bit, and you fucking get the
Wiggle,
spots.
wiggle. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Oh, you're like wiggle. Oh.
No.
No, just kidding. No, it's not like that, dude. It's no, seriously, because I use it. I don't have.
Fuck
the
around. I'm
fucking-
gonna lock myself in the toilet seat. I can't get up because
Right.
Why are you locking yourself in your toilet seat?
I'll be on the bidet too long.
Yeah. He's
What
like,
do you think happens with a bidet that locks you into it?
No,
Oh,
that's
sir.
not what he was saying. He was
I'm
saying
using my imagination.
because he's getting hard and he's just,
Oh.
and he's
I
tucked.
can't stand up, so I
He's
can't.
tucked and he's hard, so he's.
So it's like,
I got it. All right. I got it. Yeah.
Jeez.
Big dick story. Okay, I got it.
no, I just sit really up, like not that big, bro. I just sit.
No, not big at all.
I just
He
sit on the
yeah.
edge of my toilet
Yeah.
seat.
And he's scared to back up into the bidet. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't want to back.
I
not
sit so
about to
far
risk
up on
that.
my toilet seat that the bidet goes up my back. It just-
Oh, speaking of which, have you ever done that? Have you ever accidentally like sprayed it? Like when I first set it
Hello?
up. When
Yeah,
I
exactly.
First set it
You
up,
first set it
the
up, you
first
spray
set it
yourself
up,
in
the
the
first
face.
thing you do is like you go to turn it on to see if it works.
Yeah.
And you don't think about it,
No.
bro. That motherfucker shoots like it's.
Yeah.
Your whole wall is wet.
You're gonna get hit in the
Like,
face, or your wall's gonna get wet the first time. I'm sorry.
Oh, dude, it's
Just
so
everyone.
fucking great. I was like, oh.
I don't know if I want to
shit.
do
Because the
this.
first time you're like, well, I just want to see how it is. Like you're not gonna, you like, I understand this because I went through it too. Like I don't want to sit on it first. Like I want to kind of gauge what this is gonna do to my
Like-
butt.
Right.
Yeah.
So you look at it and you get.
You get-
Everyone does it. Like unless you're
Everybody
bold
gets-
enough to be like, I am ready to shoot this mysterious water out my butt.
oh my god.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
it-
It does hook up to the clean water, so
That
Yeah,
it's
right.
it's clean water, but something about it coming out of your toilet.
Dude, I'm gonna brush my teeth in the bidet window. Just to be like,
it's got a splash guard.
it's
It's got a splash, so like, and it has a self-cleaning
Yes,
mode.
yeah.
Like it's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty sanitary.
Even the cheap ones are pretty solid.
Like the nozzle pops down from behind the splash guard.
Yeah.
The splash guard. So
Wow.
it doesn't really like you can't touch the like you're not gonna shit on the nozzle.
Yeah.
That's kind of what
Even
I was,
if you have some crazy blowout, you're not gonna shit on the
because
nozzle.
bro, like
I don't know.
It's got a
If
shield.
you got the dads, like
we got to talk about the dads.
yeah, we do have to talk
This
about. But
episode
we'll
is
talk
brought
about
to you by the bidet company.
right. Whoever the fuck makes those bidets.
The clean booties.
I don't know.
Royal
I know there's
LLC.
like
booties.
I know like I don't think it's not like Bissell or somebody that makes it, but they make
Oyster.
Oster.
Oster.
Yeah,
Oster.
I think
It's
that's
Oster.
the one I
The
have, yeah.
blender company.
I mean, they're like a generic
and they
appliance company.
yeah they make blenders for the toilets too, like so it goes down the drain easy.
Ice blend.
Like a toilet
That's actually
disposal.
not a thing, but it should be a thing.
you know what? You know how
No, like
it would solve a lot of
dude,
plumbing
have
issues.
you? Oh Jesus Christ, it would, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Think
people
about-
that throw the
Toilet paper
wipes,
or whatever.
but
yeah.
the wipes,
oh, yeah,
the wet
the
wipes,
wet wipes.
like it just blends them up and just it's like a garbage
Yeah.
disposal for your fucking shitter.
Yeah, but the plumbing industry is never going to let that happen.
yeah,
Call
no
me.
way.
The plumbing industry.
Call me.
Yep.
they're gonna bury you.
Mhm.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
You know what? If something happens to me, it wasn't me.
Right.
It was Matt.
It was me. If something happens to him, I'll give you his number,
It might have
his
been
fucking
me.
address, his all. Yeah.
It's gonna be me. What are the dads? What are the puppies?
The dads. I actually wrote it out on here so we can see. Where's it? Is that camera going? Can it see me?
Yes.
No.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. So it's the day after drinking shits. That's the dads. So when you go out and you're drinking like beer, whiskey, any of that shit, the day after, even
Tequila.
yes,
Tequilas
it
are
really
good.
it really
is
does
an alcohol.
depend. I mean, but when you really, really go drinking, and the next day you have like the shits, and I mean it's explosive. Sometimes it's shit the bed. Sometimes it's I can make it.
Sometimes it's paint the bowl.
Sometimes, yes, it's almost always paint the bowl.
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah,
always.
that's true.
And it's very loose. It's very loose, and it gets in there, and it can be like different colors, all kinds of. Yeah.
You don't gotta go into that
like
deep of a
investigating
description.
it.
Maybe
we
you
take
like
some pictures.
daiquiris, bro. Maybe you like those purple daiquiris.
Imagine getting a photo from your friend like, I'm impressed by this. Check this shit out.
I don't know what Profiles used to drink, but maybe he used to drink those purple daiquiris, dude, and that shit comes out black. Like,
Picasso ain't got shit on this.
right. Or like, you know when you used to eat the like, did you guys ever have that Raven's Revenge, that powder shit that like paints your whole mouth? It's like a powder, like pixie sticks type stuff. Oh fuck, we used to have that shit all over there. But you eat a bunch of that shit and then you shit like blue and green and fucking like purple and all that. Like your shit actually.
You
comes
shit
out.
the rainbow.
Yes. You know what I'm talking about then, right? Or like if you eat those fucking black burgers that they have for fucking Halloween from Burger King.
Burger King.
Right? And they do the patty, they do the fucking buns in black. And then you shit like green the next day or whatever the fuck it is. Like
That shit was scary. I thought I had something.
you think you have something. You get all scared.
Oh, like,
You're
damn.
I have
"Oh,
to
there's
ask.
something
I
wrong
ain't
with
going
me."
back to
Something
GP
wrong.
no more.
Powder stuff. What was that
Yeah.
powder stuff called?
It was called Raven's Revenge.
So what was the selling point for Raven's Revenge? Like your mouth turning colors, or
yeah,
your shit
no,
turning colors?
literally it would turn your mouth colors. But
And
if
that
you
was
ate-
that was why people paid for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it would. Oh, dude, it was
I'd be
fucking
worried if people
great.
were like, "I want to turn my shit purple."
Yeah.
But it was so
Right.
cool because it came in a test tube and like you could dispense whatever colors you want. And as you would pour it, like pour it in your mouth and then you'd eat it and your tongue would turn all these funky colors and all this shit. And it was great. But then we realized, like me and my friends were like, oh, if you do a whole test tube of the blue, your shit would come out blue. It's fucking great. Like you'd actually shit blue. So
Everybody's
we
like,
would-
"I give up. Just send
Right.
it through."
Yeah. But we found out black was the only one where your shit doesn't actually come out black. If you do black, your shit comes out like purple or blue or green. It depends on whatever the black is, whatever they use for the base of the black.
I like how you got some like science behind this.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
let's
It's
try each
test
one.
tubes. We
Dude.
might as well. Like,
I literally imagine a young man with his homies. All right, you drink the black, you drink the blue, you drink the green.
Right.
Report tomorrow.
right. Right.
That's-
So that's what we did. Yeah. Good times.
Were there picture evidence, or you just take people's word for it?
Nah, dude. We would just show each other. Like we'd be like, hey, dude, I took this shit. Come look.
Oh my God, that was live action reviews.
No, I'm just kidding, dude. We would just tell each other at school. It was all
That's-
word of mouth. Like,
that
it was-
happened. That happened with my neighbor. It wasn't with the
I-
powder stuff.
Yeah.
It was literally like, "Hey, come look at my giant poop."
You
Dude,
know,
I had friends that did that too.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, it's not. I'm not
We're all guys.
lying. Like,
We're all
shit.
guys.
one time,
If your poop sticks out of the water, that's impressive. Like,
I
why-
was-
if a homie might
It was
want to
like
see
if
that.
it looks like the fucking ass end of the Titanic, where it's like, they're like, yes.
I don't know how the toilet's gonna handle this.
Holy shit! And then next thing you know, I'm like unfolding a coat hanger, and I'm like, you're gonna need this to like chop the fucker up so it goes down the drain.
watching out
His
for your
face,
plumbing.
I was trying to hook a brother up, man, because it was either that or he's gonna really funky up his plunger. You know what I mean? So you take the little wire hanger, you unfold it, and you scramble that shit like
you're
some
unfolding
eggs.
it, and it's not burning for there you go.
You scramble it like eggs. You just scramble it up in there.
like
Yeah.
like Sherry's on a
And
Sunday morning.
And the thing is the funniest part of this whole entire thing is
Oh,
while we're
God.
talking about it, you're getting so grossed out. But I'm telling you right now, I fucking have the gag reflex of like, I can't even explain to you how bad my gag reflex is. So even like the smell, there's times where I take a shit and I'm gagging, like, like So like, can you imagine? So like, if my friend's like, dude. So my friend's like, dude, come check out my shit. Like, you got to see this. It's crazy. And I go in there and I'm like, what? That's fucking funny as shit. What? Like this. It was like, dude, even when I had kids, when I changed shitty diapers, my wife makes fun of me because I was always like,
You have to get over that real quick.
It's like, nah, just always fucking gag. Like, I was just okay. I'm okay. And I would tell myself in my head, you're okay? You're okay. You're okay. You're just,
Can you eat oysters, raw oysters?
yes.
Raw oysters? I can't.
I can eat. That's the thing is like it's not an eating thing for me.
It's not a texture thing.
It's a smell.
It's strictly
It's
smell.
strictly smell. And
I'm okay with smells. For me, it's a texture when I'm eating
But you know
something.
what's crazy is
You gotta
like
shoot
and-
oysters. Like,
Yeah. But the thing is, what's crazy about that is like people puking. Like most people have a bad gag reflex. If someone else pukes, they'll.
I can't.
And I'm not that way. Like I watch people.
They're like
almost
harmonize.
puke all the time. Like yeah. So me when people,
Scary movie you're in, I think. Is
when people almost puke, I laugh. Like I think it's the funniest thing in the world when I see people like I have a guy I follow on TikTok and like he eats crazy shit and the whole time he's like and he gets his face when he does it and it's like I fucking die. I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. And to me, it's the funniest thing in the fucking world. But it's the smell. Like, if I was there with him and he smelled it and he went, and I'd be like, dude, let me smell it. And then he'd be trying to eat it the whole time while he's trying to eat it because I know the smell. Then I'd be like,
I can't.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so fucking crazy. Every time I start this podcast hungry, and when the podcast's over, I'm good. Like, I don't want to.
wonder why.
I don't want to eat anymore. Like,
And see, it's so bad. Like, so like you've heard of those like century-old eggs or whatever. Mm-hmm. Those I've tried to eat those eggs before. Like I did a eating competition, and I opened it up. And the first thing that you open them. I plugged my nose. I actually grabbed like the swimmers like little shit you put over your nose, and I put it over my nose because they actually supplied that. And when it touched my mouth, it was like I tasted the smell kind of thing, like it all kind of. And I forced it down and I ate it, and I was like, I'm good. And then I burped. I smelled it, and I threw up.
you were on the home stretch, son.
And I fucking barfed. That's just the way it is. I don't know how we went from like the dads to
Yeah.
that, but it's all good. Yeah.
I can't remember when the last time no, never mind. Yeah, I can.
The last time you threw up, like
Yeah.
when you were sitting on the couch and you had it all over your stomach.
I was so fucked up. I was throwing up, sitting out. Just
He doesn't remember it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't remember. There
But
was a
right
picture.
It was
That's how I
right.
know.
It was right after you cried to your mom and like all that other shit. Mom, I love you so much. Thank you for taking care of me.
It was so bad.
I was worried about you.
You were
because
still-
I watched you drink tequila like water, and I was like worried about you. It was the fucking white bottle behind me. And
That's
you were,
one of the bottles we're
Yeah,
drinking.
but that was the one you were drinking like water.
Yeah.
Like you literally were chugging it, not like pouring it. Oh, a shot.
That means
No,
Profiles was
you
there
were
because
literally
that's the
he
bottle
was
that
there,
Profiles
and I
got,
kept
man.
asking him, "Where is Mando?" Like I'm worried about him. Like I was actually worried about.
I was
you.
missing in action. I went to the bathroom and I couldn't get out.
Yeah, and then he couldn't get out, and then someone let him out, and then his mom was taking care of him, and then he starts crying to his mom, and I walked in while he was crying to his mom, and I was like, awkward. I'm gonna walk out because I was
Matt
I was
walked
like
in, he
the
was
one
like-
sober guy. Like, I'm a truck driver. I had to watch my license, so I'm the only sober guy there. And
No, you weren't.
Well, no, other than Profiles, which I didn't know because that was the first night I ever met you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I don't remember that night.
And then
but it sounds like everybody had a good time.
Yeah,
so I
it was a
think
fucking great night. It was, and I'm sure you had the dads the next day.
I'm still recovering. I think I'm still trying to get regulated. I'm eating Activia and
But yeah. So, we were talking about bidets. Like that's how we got to that whole thing.
okay. So I mean, I'll try one out. Let me come over and poop. I pooped at your house and there was no bidet in there.
No, that's because it's upstairs in my bedroom. The
Oh.
one downstairs, we don't do it down there because not everybody like. Okay, so here's my whole thing. I have 2 kids. You know how kids are. Kids want to like fuck with dials and do some shit. Now our bidet.
Do you have to dial it in? Like take a shit and like that's not my asshole.
Well, it
That's
has
why
a,
you
it has
wiggle.
a, but
That's
it
why
does,
you wiggle.
Those are my balls.
I don't know about yours, but mine does have a front and back spray, and so the sprayers hit different spots, and the front spray will hit like the back of your ball sack if you do it wrong. If you're sitting too far back, and
Straight mud flap?
it'll hit the back of your ball sack. Like, and the thing is that one's not as powerful because I think that's for women and all that. Yeah, but if you do the other one and it has like the other one, you can fucking turn that motherfucker up, dude. And I don't want my daughter to like lose an eye. Like, lose an eye. Like it's it's fucking So we don't have one downstairs, but if you ever want to use one, it's upstairs in our bedroom.
I'm scared to go up there.
Why? It's like super clean up there. My wife's OCD, bro.
I know.
Our house is
I'm
fucking
not scared to go
spotless.
upstairs. I'm scared to use the bidet.
Well, and
I believe in
the
you.
thing is,
I could do it. I
Yeah,
could do
you
it.
can do it. You
okay,
can spray
but
water
you're
in
not
your butt.
allowed to use my bidet till January.
Fuck. It's gonna be.
You took a picture with it?
Oh, in the camera.
Yeah.
Thumbnail.
But yeah, no, you can't use the bidet till January.
Oh,
'Cause that's when the water's the coldest. That it comes out through the pipes,
It's
and
refreshing.
you're gonna be the first guy to use the bidet that day,
It's refreshing.
bro. It'll literally, you'll spend the night, and you'll use it first thing in the morning. You will be fucking wide awake.
You know those gum commercials where you're chewing them like, and they're like snow? It's like that.
Yeah.
what
it's
what
like
it's
that
like to
in your
chew
butthole.
5 gum?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So like
Through your
it's,
butthole.
it's so much better than a cup
Oh
of
my
coffee.
fucking god.
Like first thing in the morning, you.
So it's like a
shoot
cold
ice water.
plunge for your culo.
Yes. So, but it does the same thing. It shocks your whole body. Whoa!
It's like your body takes a screenshot, like.
right. Like you clean you clean the inside and the outside because as soon as you do it, like I don't care how spread apart you are on the seat or whatever, your shit goes. Like it's like nope, okay, like we'll let it happen, and your whole body just shudders. And
I'll
it's
try
great.
it. I'll have to try it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you-
have
you'll
to.
do it.
I'm gonna have to
Don't
try
knock
it.
it
One of
till you
these.
try it.
That's the thing. You know what I mean?
And dude, I'll tell you save a fuck ton
Oh,
of
yeah.
money on toilet paper.
Oh yeah.
Do you not wipe afterwards? You don't
You
dry
dry
it?
off.
Oh, you dry. Okay, so I have friends that don't at all. They don't even dry off, and I'm like, how does that even work? Like,
You gotta confirm.
you gotta like confirm that you did get it all.
You gotta
And
confirm.
and I will be honest with you. I will be honest with you. I will be honest with you. There are times where it doesn't clean the whole way,
Mm-hmm.
and so you confirm, and then it's like, oh. And so you wipe, and then you use it again, and then you dry, and then you're like, oh, that shit's clean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just got out of the fucking shower clean. That's how you should
That's
feel.
okay.
after
You know
you
what?
take
Now
a
we're
shit.
we're
Like-
talking, because when I shower, I do fucking. You know what I mean? Just to make sure.
You,
Jesus Christ.
Jesus, wow. Fucking rhinos upstairs. But no, I don't know how you do it. You could do the credit card with the fucking soap bar. You could do the whole fucking.
I do, bro. I soap, put the bar of soap down, and I have a soapy hand. I'm
And
like,
you credit card with the hand. Shoop.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Make
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Little. They're like.
Check the
he does
perimeter.
that. He checks
Check the
oil.
perimeter.
He checks the oil.
You're like, Oh, wait a second.
You mother lover.
Hold on.
You're gonna go,
Oh.
cool, right?
Yeah,
You're like,
no, I'm good. Yeah.
Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Don't stop now. It's bobsled time.
I need to get a bigger plug. Jesus.
Dude, you know they say that Jamaica's pretty haunted. Have you heard that before?
No.
Jamaica has like crazy.
They have a bunch of haunted shit. Yeah.
haunted ghost
They
stories.
have one of the worst murder rates per capita.
I
too.
think that's why. That's
a
why.
lot. It's a lot of the Caribbean countries actually.
But
Really?
it's actually so I've heard I heard it's a great place to visit when you go to resorts. You do all that stuff, but outside the resorts,
Don't
Careful.
go anywhere at night.
yeah, it's very dangerous, very
Yeah.
sketchy, very
Like it's worse
still
than
wanna
Mexico.
go.
Like Mexico, if you wander off a resort, it's not that bad. You're not gonna fucking die. But
Depending on where you are.
Depending on where you
I'm
are.
also white, and they like chop our heads off, and like they hold us for ransom.
dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. In Mexico, they won't chop a tourist heads off. Mexico's number one source of like money is tourist money, so they're not gonna.
Cartels' first source of money is fucking drugs. That's
cartels, yes.
Cartels.
Cartels, yes. I'm talking about Mexico as a country itself.
And the
Yeah.
cartels are the ones that fucking take us and hold us for ransom and do all that shit. Like that's what they do.
Unless you owe somebody something, I mean, not I'm not guaranteeing your safety, but most of the time you should be fine.
I mean, I shop at Goodwill, and I would be scared to wear my Goodwill clothing in there. Like,
dude, we went to Mexico, and we went to where Lupita's from, my wife. They're all brown and about this tall. And Lupita's like, the first day that we got there, she was like, hey, don't wear nice clothes because I don't want, I'm like, babe, I'm like 3 feet taller than everybody here. It doesn't matter what I wear. I'm standing out.
I'm like Andre the fucking Giant. Fuck these people.
I'm like walking around like, oh, sorry, officer. Like,
yeah.
No, that's the first warning that they give you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. That's what I mean. Like, dude, I've been to TJ. I know. In TJ, you wear board shorts, flip flops, and a fucking whatever fucking white plain T-shirt you have. Like, that's because you don't want to stand at. Well, you don't wear flip flops. You wear shoes because I told you about that.
You gotta run.
You tuck your money in your shoe because they don't check your shoes. So that's. I mean.
I mean, what?
They don't watch this shit. We got like
better not go to
25
Mexico.
followers.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, but yeah, no, that's why when you go to TJ, like you tuck your money in your shoe.
Have you
Not
been
in
in
your
Mexico
sock.
before?
They'll check your
When I was
sock,
younger,
but
yeah.
they won't check.
Do you
your
remember
shoe.
which part? I think I've asked you this
I've
when we were
been
fishing, but I forgot.
to Tijuana and what's the other? There's another one near the border that's really.
What's the other Tijuana?
Oh, Baja California?
No.
Not Baja.
Maybe I have only been to Tijuana.
It's in near
But I was
Texas
young.
because there's Juarez, but Juarez is
No,
fucked
I
up
didn't
right
know.
now.
I'm pretty sure I've only been to Tijuana.
Yeah, okay. Did you have any crazy shit that happened there?
I was like 5 years old. I remember Mexican jumping beans. There's a
You
box of
were-
Mexican jumping
Oh,
beans. I was
yeah.
like, that's the coolest
Fucking
shit
that's the coolest
ever.
thing ever. I went there as a teenager.
It's
or
the shit
even
as a
even
teenager.
into my 20s, and I had a friend that was arrested, and I had to pay them to get my friend unarrested.
Like
Yeah.
bribe pay or like
Yeah,
bail
yeah.
pay.
No.
Right,
Right, babe.
Right, babe.
100%.
I also saw things that you should never see as like I was like 16 the first time I went there, but I looked 18, so they really I got fucking beer, I was served tequila, everything, and my mom actually knows about this story, which is pretty funny. My first time I ever went there, I was 15 years old, and I was camping in San Diego, and the guys I was with at the campgrounds were like, "Hey, let's go to Mexico and go surf this Black Rock Beach." And I'm like, "You said Black Rock Beach, cool, sounds good. Surfing, cool, let's go." And then next thing I know, my mom's like, "You went to fucking where? You left the country? You didn't even fucking tell me?" I was like, "I didn't think it was that big a deal. Fun surfing and shit like that and this and that." I was like, and there was like a show, and the girl did a thing with the bottle, and it was like,
Wait a second, what?
That really,
Mexico strip clubs are otherworldly. I've yet to still experience those.
yeah, she did a thing with a tequila
Man,
bottle.
you just go to a bar and they'll still give you a fucking show.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, it depends on where you go. But yeah.
Depends on where you go.
But
Hong
that's
Kong.
how TJ used to be.
Go to
Like
Hong
it was
Kong.
like a party town when I went there. It was full on party, and it was like I went there, and it's funny because it was like half and half, and it was like half like Americans, half Mexicans, and it was like everybody was fucking partying. It was a really good time, and they were all everywhere. Everyone was like, I mean, I was like 16 the first time I went. Everybody was a 16 to fucking 20 years old. It's like everyone 21 was like, "Now we're gonna stay up in America and drink," but everybody else was like, we were all down there just getting fucked up and going to all these places, and yeah, it was fucking cool. But
Nice.
yeah, it was a mess.
Oh, it's not a Go Deeper official podcast without asking our guests about a haunted story or a ghost story. We gotta. I'm gonna ask you. I know it doesn't have to be with you per se. You know what I mean? It has.
Yeah.
It could be someone you know. It could be something you've heard.
I do personally have one
You do have
when I
one.
was younger. So, and one of those things like, I
Turn that mic.
I'm a very like logical person. Like I need evidence and
Yeah.
like I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah, I think that.
Mostly
such and
everything
such
should
is
have an explanation.
Yeah.
I feel that way too.
And so like I really do enjoy like horror and scary stories and stuff like that. Actually, I have a recommendation for you guys, but
Yes, we'll get to that.
yeah, but yeah, so like that's kind of where I'm coming from. It's like I'm not a huge like, oh yeah, I totally believe paranormal shit's completely real every time. Like, probably a reasonable explanation for most shit. But I do have a story when I was a kid, probably like 8 or 10 years old. So I lived in my parents' place, obviously, and they had a big open basement. Like it was an open, what do they call those? Where it's not underground for part of it, and there's a doorway out there, like open air basement or something like that. I don't know. There's the basement had access to the outside directly, like And
I know
so
what you're
it's-
saying.
Yeah.
So
So almost like a garage, like a barn or whatever, but it's
Not
kind of
even. It was like a
No,
fully
no, no, no,
finished,
no,
and
no,
there's
no.
like
Fully
it's like a patio out back and everything. And
it's
Oh,
like
I
if
know
you-
what you say.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if we
yeah.
can walk out to the backyard from.
yeah.
Yeah, it's still kind of a basement. It's
Yeah.
like a.
It's like, if your property's like on a hill,
exactly.
right? So
Yep.
you open and
It's
then
not
the
a
basement's
den.
on low, but
It's
you
not a
can.
den. It's a basement. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
what
it's
you're
like a
talking
fully
about,
finished basement.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not super
Yeah,
important. But I spent like most of my childhood there. It was like
Yeah.
the basement was my place. Always spent it there constantly, like whether friends were over, gaming, just all sorts of shit. Anyway, the basement, there's one big room, and then in the corner there's the hallway down to the next part of the basement, and then a right turn to like the bathroom and the stairs up, and then an office.
Mhm.
And so as a kid, I was in the main room in the basement. I distinctly remember
Kid,
like,
how old?
like 8 or 10.
Okay.
This is like a vivid memory that happened. Like I remember I was like, I'm gonna go upstairs. So I was in the main room and I walked down the hallway, and the hallway just goes straight, probably like an entire, I don't know, maybe like 12 or 15 feet, like pretty long hallway, and then the right turn. And as I come around the doorway, I distinctly remember just this girl just standing there, like a little girl in like the super stereotypical like all white dress, and I remember like just freezing. And like backing up,
But what was she doing? Staring.
just standing there, just literally just stock,
Did
like
she have
frozen.
all black eyes?
I don't even remember. It's just like
Oh, okay.
it was like a giant like porcelain doll looking girl. I just remember I just froze. I was like, and I slowly backed up like around the corner. I was like, I'm not dealing with that. And then that was it. Like I think I stayed in the basement for a while, and I eventually got courage and looked up and she was gone. Just that was it. Like I remember that very distinctly from my childhood. I was
Whose house was this?
my house, like my parents' house.
Do they still live there?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's crazy.
Well, that was the only thing. That was the only thing that crazy that happened there.
That was the only.
I don't remember
it was like
anything
an
else.
isolated incident.
I do not fuck with little kid.
I know,
ghosts
that freaks-
or
like, part of the
whatever,
things, like,
that's
the
a
Here's
movies
the,
and
no,
stuff.
here's the
no.
thing though. Here's the thing I've heard because I'm a fucking nerd when it comes to paranormal shit. A lot of times when you see like a little kid like manifestation or like a like an entity or something like that, like a lot of times it's not that. It's something portraying
Okay,
itself as
so
that.
that's where I was talking about earlier. Like before the show, we were talking about it, and I was telling you about the black-eyed children. There's that episode of those people that we were talking. The guy you found, paranormal investigator. We might
Shout outs to them, by the way.
yeah, haunted
Haunted
Hans-
ghouls
Hans-
and omens. HGO.
Haunts, Graves, and Omens.
Hans
That's what they're
Graves.
called.
Shout outs to
But
them.
they have one on there where they're talking to the black-eyed children, and I listened to the whole entire episode, and that's why that fucking
Nope.
nope. And I don't fuck with children ghosts, and they have like their whole theory behind it is really fucking cool, but it's that's
Is what I said
Not
true?
about to mess with that.
no, dude, no. And I agree with him. Like it's never a fucking actual child.
A lot of
Like,
times a
that's
child
some-
apparition is not a child apparition. It's something portraying itself as a child apparition.
I'm also very skeptical when it comes to a lot of shit, but I've also seen some shit where I'm like, that's they're like, and I'm logical to where like, okay, like the fucking shitter ghost that I was talking about in the last episode, and he's in the shitter, and it's like, what the fuck? And there's no possible way for all that shit to work the way it does to be fucking natural.
Yeah.
And so when it does that, I'm like, yeah, that's not natural. Science can't explain that. Fuck that. I'm not okay with that. Like,
That's kind of how I am when it comes to like skeptical shit. Like
Yeah.
I believe shit is happening, but I'm skeptical too. So it's like this: if I can't disprove it, then what the
Yeah.
fuck is it? You know what I mean?
And that's the thing is, I always think like my first thing is like find a logical reason for this to happen.
So did you say You told me that Jess has a story.
Yeah. So Jess gave me the story.
Which, by the
to
way,
tell you.
we're gonna get back to Jess because we're gonna talk about the logo and stuff. So
Jess
Yeah,
being my
that's-
wife.
Yes.
putting a pin in that. We're gonna come back to that.
Yeah, it's a good explanation that you just say like your wife. It's not just some random person.
Not just Jess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, Jess
From
has a
Apartment
story.
4D.
Yeah. Who
No.
the fuck is Jess?
Got some big connections here.
Jess,
well,
aka
it's complicated.
Mrs. Zach, also
you
has
go.
has a paranormal story. What?
Yeah.
What's her?
So she grew up in multiple places. This story took place when she was like 16 or 17, living in upstate New York, a little town called Binghamton. It's like kind of a small little town upstate.
Have you heard of that?
Nope. Okay, but see,
Very small
upstate New York is like very rural, very out in the middle of nowhere. I was born in New York, and I know a lot about New York and all that stuff.
It's a
There's
different
a lot
world.
of shit going on in upstate New York.
It's a different world.
It's totally different. Yeah.
Anyway, so she lived in this big house, old big house. I actually visited it before she moved over here. It was
no
one of
way.
the first times I visited her. But she used to take. She worked at the gas station nearby. She walked there, and she used to take every shift she could. Like every shift, she's like, I'm here for the hours. Give me the hours. I want hours. And so a lot of her time was spent like sleeping. She was like, I just got off a 12-hour shift. I need to sleep, and she would turn on an alarm. Like she had a little like a CD player alarm to wake her up for the next shift, because she would like chain 12-hour shifts together. So
Wow.
like she was all about just
12 on, 12 off, 12 on, 12
she was
off.
literally like, I need money to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I feel that.
And so she did whatever she could. So she had this CD player that she would turn on with an alarm, like a timer and everything, or clock. And she started noticing that she would miss her alarm. She'd miss her alarm. Like she slept in the couch, because it was like she would just get home and pass out just wherever. So she'd sleep on the couch, and the CD player is across the room on like a dresser or whatever, like a table on the side of the room. And so she'd fall asleep and then expect the alarm to get off. Wouldn't wake her up. She'd be late to work.
Fuck.
So the first couple times it was just whatever, the alarm's broken or whatever. And so she'd be late to work and she'd be pissed.
And this is before the era of like cell phones where you would just put it on there.
Yeah, no, earlier than
He
cell
said
phones.
CD player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
CD
that's
player.
why I figured.
Showing some age.
And keep in mind, so like
Dating ourselves there.
Yes.
she's got like a family, so these are times where their family's out, like not home at all, like they're out doing something on the weekend,
Gotcha.
like going grocery shopping or whatever, like 100% alone in this house, and her alarm just wouldn't work. And so finally it did that a couple times, and she kept resetting it. And one time it happened, so she didn't wake up on time, and she woke up like on her own and walked over to the alarm clock, and it was open, and the CD was sitting next to it. Like something
Took the CD out.
and put it next to, like 100% alone. Like none of her family was there. There's no one there to take out the alarm.
So something with like.
Yeah, something literally was like touched her CD player, her alarm. No one else was there, and that's like happened. I think she said it happened like twice before she like.
Fuck.
Yeah. So that was her story.
Does she sleepwalk?
That's what I asked her. I was like, "Could you sleepwalk?" She's like,
okay, so that's what.
Yeah.
The logical mind.
The logical
I was
mind.
like, you just
yeah.
like a loud alarm, and or even if you're super groggy and you're like, you just
Yeah.
want to turn this off. And it was across the room, and she said she never sleepwalk. So
Holy shit! Have you ever seen her sleepwalk? I mean,
no,
she's
she never
whatever.
sleepwalked since I've been with her.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is pretty wild though.
not like super crazy scary, but just like,
But like maybe the ghost doesn't want to be alone, so it doesn't want her to go to work.
or it just didn't like the alarm. It's like, bad alarm.
Yeah, it's like fuck it, you're alarm. Bitch,
alarm-
I'm trying to sleep too, bitch.
Yeah. Like imagine like if I open the NC like in sync, fuck that. Like,
Get something better.
So it's our little Hanson fucking Bop CD. Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah, I did have. So when I was younger, I was telling Mando about this. I lived out in the country, like dirt road, like forests and big fields
by the
around
way,
me. Like,
jealous because those are the dopest childhoods to have.
Yeah.
yeah, so like, and it was a smaller neighborhood, so it was just like maybe like a dozen houses out in the middle of nowhere, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so we'd always just be running around all over the place, like, oh, we're in so and so's field, or we're in so and so's forest. Like it doesn't matter. And we would get into mischief as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a couple times, one in particular, where me and a buddy would go out, and there was like, we were really dumb, like huge nerds, like growing up huge nerds, and so we'd have like quests, be like, oh, we're gonna go out and get the butcher's cleaver, which is like an item from Diablo, and like we didn't know what the hell that meant at the time, but like we got like a piece of metal that looked like a sword, like, oh, this is awesome. So we would go out to around the neighborhood, and there would be like people with trashed cars in their backyard, or people with like trailers that they're decrepit, or people with barns that they never use, and so we'd go poke around those because we were kids and whatnot. And there was one time where we went out, there was a house that was being built behind his property, like a brand new house, and it was still like in the scaffolding, like they didn't have walls or anything yet.
It
Still
was like
just
the bones.
the bare bones. And we knew that there was cool stuff in there because like the night before we went out, and we like, I'm sorry for whoever owns this place who built it, we stole one of their sledgehammers. It's like, oh, we stole a sledgehammer, this is cool. Like we were kids, like that was the craziest shit we did. I'm a huge nerd and I'm terrible. Anyway, we went out, so we knew like, oh, we're gonna go back to this cool place. Yeah, I was totally badass here. But we had this. We were also like, oh, we're gonna be really sneaky about it, and we had those cheap as hell little extendable ear things that it's like a tiny little amplifier.
Mm-hmm.
You plug in a
I know
headphones.
exactly what
And it just makes everything really loud.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's really loud. And so we're out in the middle of the woods or in the field, and there's like fences we're climbing through and shit. And we're like regularly like, oh yeah, everyone be quiet. Check the headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no one's there. And keep moving, like being silly or whatever. And at one point we were like 2 fences in because there's fields and fields. So we were like 2 fences in. And like, okay, stop, quiet. And then my buddy Chris was like, and we only had one of these things. We had to like pass it around. We're like, I hear footsteps. And we're like in the middle of a grass, like wheat field. Like, I hear footsteps. And at first I was like, you don't fucking tell, you're lying.
Right. Piece of shit fucking
Yeah.
lie.
And he's like, no, I'm serious. I was like, really? I was like, come here, give it to me. So he handed it to me. I put it on, and you could hear like crunching, like something like what like the sound of
walking through a field.
So we're both like kind of freaked out. We're like, okay, there's
Did it
something
sound like
walking around
Here's my
us.
question: did it sound like 2, like a biped?
It just sounded like rhythmic, like it was some sort of gait. It wasn't like random, and it was all from the same direction. And so we were kind of freaked out. We're like, oh shit, something's walking around us. And so thinking back at my logical self, there were cougars that been around there. Like there were cougar sightings and shit. So of course we're either scared for cougars, or scared there's someone out there, or scared for something paranormal because we were weird.
Either way,
kids.
whichever of the
None of
options,
these are
fuck
good.
it.
And so we stopped.
All bad
And we
news,
kept
dude,
hearing it, and we're like, okay, we need to go back. Like, we didn't get to the construction. We're like, we need to go back because we hear someone. We're kind of like, probably a mix of like, there might actually be something out there, to us freaking ourselves out, and we were starting to panic.
Yeah.
We need to go back. And so we're like jumping over these other fences, like stopping every so often, hearing it. And we truly did hear this thing like going around us as we were getting out of there. Like
It was like
moving.
circling you
Yeah.
guys?
Which just kind of makes me think it was like a cougar or something, because they're not going to just come straight at you normally. And so like that freaked us out. But that kind of is one of those things where it's like, I don't know if that's paranormal, because like you might be able to explain it as like a cougar or something, which is not a good thing. Obviously, you don't want a cougar following
you don't want to
either.
debunk it in that form.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Like, if I was out in the middle of fucking nowhere, like as an adult, I don't know if I'd want to fucking deal with ghosts and demons and shit, or cougars. Like, I think I'd feel better
cougars.
knowing it's a cougar.
yeah.
Just for me, I would know, because
that's
I can
scientifically,
do something about. I can do something about that motherfucker.
You can scientifically dispatch a cougar.
Right.
You can scientifically
If I have a handgun with me,
Yeah.
I can do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
If I got even a knife, I can like try to defend
Something,
myself.
yeah.
If it's fucking something else,
Try shooting a ghost.
Yeah.
I don't.
Piss it off.
That fool's dead already. What are you
Yeah,
gonna
What
do?
the fuck you gonna? Oh shit! Like, that went right through him. Like, what the fuck am I? Throw your knife at it. That went right through. Like, what the fuck, dude?
You guys seen Lord of the Rings, like the ghost army? It just leveled everything.
Yeah,
There's no stopping
like-
that.
You just go right through it.
Nice throw, puto.
Bitch. Now I'm mad.
So for those who don't know, Jez, the story about Jez, she's Zach's wife, and she's also the one who digitized the logo. Matt wrote it down in a drunken state of hypnosis, and
I sketched it out. I actually had like a rough day at work, and I was like, and we were talking about the podcast, and it was before we even started. I had the logo before we even started, because we discussed what we wanted it to be about and how and it's kind of transformed to this since then.
Mm-hmm.
But
ghost stories?
Pooping ghost stories.
Pooping
Yeah.
ghost
All kinds
stories,
of,
yeah.
shit, ghost stories, alcohol, all that shit. Yeah.
bullshit.
It was supposed to be alcohol, fishing, and friends, and we're all dads. And
Which is kind of what it is today.
It is still kind of, but at the same time, we do less.
It depends on
talking
who the
about
guest
fishing.
is,
Yeah,
really.
it really does. But, yeah, so I was actually like, okay, so I poured myself a little glass of whiskey, little 2-finger glass with an ice cube in it, swirling the ice cube,
You
like
whore.
trying to get the motherfucker cold. right? And then, like, next thing I know, I'm taking a couple sips, and I'm like, fuck it. Like, it was a bad day. I just fucking gulped that thing, and then I was like, looked at the bottle, grabbed the whole fucking bottle, went to the garage, and I'm like, I'm just going to sit down here and just fucking drink. And so I take fucking, I don't know, I was like 5 or 6 I don't know if you call them swigs or gulps.
Pulls.
But yeah, I was like, good pulls out of this thing. And so next thing you know, I start sketching, and I'm like, okay. And I start drawing a fishing rod, and then I start drawing a logo. And there was a can that was like tipped on its side, and I was like, and it had little drop. It was like the little well on it was full, and there was one little drop that came out of it, and it splashed on the ground. And I'm like, oh fuck. Yeah, and that's what turned into that. Yeah. So then I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, the O on the go. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I just started drawing that. And then I made the microphone hanging as like a fishing lure type thing. And I was like, dude, this is dope. Like, this actually turned out really good. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm drunk. And then I left it there. And I didn't even fucking tell you for like a week. It just stayed in my garage.
I just waited around.
Because I drew.
Was he supposed to be drawing a logo?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I drew it in like a drunken bliss, and it was like.
I just wait for him, like eventually come around. Like one of these days, maybe we'll get our names graffitied up there.
Okay, so
I'm just waiting for it. Just waiting for it to happen.
So that's the thing about me. That's the one thing you learn about me is like I can do a lot of shit, and I'm really good at doing a lot of shit. But I am also like, it's not about doing it on my own time. It's on the I'm just a procrastinature. Goddamn, I got a lot going on. So like with my kids and my wife,
we
and
got
just everything,
kids and wives and stuff.
So shit'll happen when it happens. And yeah. It'll be spontaneous too, because I'm also very, very spontaneous and very like, if I want shit to happen, like, it'll fucking happen right now. If I'm like, if I have to make it happen.
Yeah.
Just imagine like 3 in the morning, all of a sudden you hear like crashing down here. You go, like, what is that? Oh, Matt's drawing on the wall.
I'm probably going to come in with the flashlight. I was like,
be a whiskey bottle with a straw in one hand and a fucking paint marker in the other, like
just in underwear. That's it. Just
underwear.
Stained
with a shit stain, with a shit stain, with a Go Deeper logo in the shit. Like I told you, new logo.
Dude, we gotta talk about some merch stuff.
We have some new ideas for some logos and stuff, so we might actually have to hit her up.
But so from your drawing, Jess created the digital. So I wanted to just give some points, to Jess.
I wanted to touch back just because he fucking reminded me, and I've never told the story to fucking anyone. But my introduction to porn.
Wow! Whoa! How did you remind him?
Thanks, my wife for the book. All right, porn.
No, it was before the wife conversation. That's why I need to go back.
Okay.
We need to step back. Okay, so I need to tell you about this because this is very important. Very important. Okay, so I grew up. So I was born in a big city. I was born in New York. I lived in Glendale, Queens, this and that. And we moved to California. We didn't move to like the city in California. When we first moved to California, we moved to Paris, California, by Lake Paris, like in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like our neighborhood was like one neighborhood, and then everywhere you look, like as soon as you we were the second house on the street, and if you looked out to the corner, it was nothing but desert fields. I lived in the desert, and so there was all kinds of shit, abandoned cars, abandoned
Skinwalker Ranch,
like that. Yeah, crazy shit like that.
That shit's crazy, dude.
Yeah, no, it was weird shit out there, but it was also rattlesnakes and all that. And I ran around everywhere with no shirt, no shoes, only shorts. That's fucking. I was that little fucking jungle wild kid, fucking out there.
You poo in your backyard.
Wild thumb release.
I shit in a field before, and things.
Wipe my ass with a rattlesnake.
Things have happened. I have another. Actually, I have a poop story too. Holy shit! I'll save that for another episode.
There you go.
It's something that it all reminded me of, But one day we went out there and there was like a little fire that started, and we were like, oh shit. And it turned out it was like an abandoned camper, and the camper was like dilapidated and it fell, and something in there caught fire. And so me and my friends put the fire out, but there was a bunch of fucking like Playboy magazines and Penthouse magazines and all this. And I was like 9 or 10 years old, and I fucking swooped on like 20 of those things. That was the intro to my fucking porn. Like, dude, that was the first time I ever seen anything pornography or anything, and everybody has a story like that.
Minus the fire. I have a fucking story like that.
Right?
Seriously,
dude. And that was my introduction to porn. Like, I don't know why that.
I don't know how. Head, that's just the same exact thing. Literally, so like the house that we talked to. It was years later. It was a different direction. There was another, like there was a pond, and I was fisherman my whole life. There's a pond that was like 4 fields over, or through a forest and like two fields. Like, we're gonna go over there one day. Go over there. There's like this fucking RV that's parked next to the pond. Me and two of my neighbors who were like 12 at the time or something like that, totally retarded, because we opened up we were like, hey, there's an RV, let's go into the RV. I didn't mean, I'm sorry for the R word. I don't know if that sometimes that's
we run it hard. It's okay.
Okay,
It's okay.
sorry.
It's okay. Yes, it happens.
Some people, it's
We
like nowadays it's weird with that word.
We joke about how weird.
I
it is.
have a 90s definition for that word, which is
Right.
So do I.
Exactly.
That's why we think it's funny. Okay, but
Yeah, anyway.
it
So we're
flies
going,
in here. Don't worry.
We're like this old RV, like real kind of like late 80s or whatever RV, and we're like, our dumbass kids were like, yeah, we're gonna open up, like there might be a guy with a gun in here, but let's go. We open it up and we're like, oh, it's nasty. There's like piles of garbage, like literally all up everywhere, and under like stereotypical as fuck. Open the underneath the cupboard underneath the sink, stack of porno mags.
Yeah,
Nice.
And all of us were just like, we're all like 12 or 13.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my god!
And
like,
I was like,
yeah. So we all like split it. We're like laying in the field. We're like, oh my god, we're laying in the field. Like, okay, we're gonna split all these up. We're like playing cards, like divvying up these porno mags. Like, this is ridiculous.
and the funniest thing about it is, like, at least yours were like nice looking and all this.
Oh, they
Ours
were not
like
nice.
they were crumpled pages that we found. And
Okay,
we
no,
found
we
the
did have
pages
full
all over,
pages.
and we had to like
So
put
you're
the
talking-
pages together. And like there was a couple that were like full books, but
Your pages had miles on them.
they may have.
we had to
Like,
put them
we
together
had
to get the
no
full
idea.
story, you know, because you want to read.
But dude, we were like I'm not kidding. I was like 10 years old. I was between the ages of 9 and 10, and that was my introduction. That was my little tiny stiffy fucking 10-year-old fucking
before you knew what that was.
before I even knew what was going on.
Your first
dude.
boner was like,
Yeah, it was like the little like
I feel
when in
weird.
doubt, pinky out, straight up like little, little bone dog going on right there. That's but. Dude, that's seriously my introduction. I don't know why I never thought of that. That's fucking great. That's a great story. And
That's awesome.
It's
fucking
ridiculous
crazy
that
that
they're
his
the
is
same
like the
story,
same
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
that's crazy.
Like,
honestly.
did you ever find magazines? Like, I don't know if you did the same thing. Or...
Mine times is as a fishing story. When we would go in and buy worms, we used to fish over here by Salish Ponds right here. I don't know if you know where they are, but they're really close by.
I know exactly where you're talking
We would
about.
stop at this corner market, and it still exists
Yeah.
right there on Gleason and like.
And let me tell you, they had that. Let me guess. They had the magazine stand, and it was like over off in the corner, and you
Yes.
could see them, and you were like,
Yes.
With the black
Yes.
covers on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
they had the black
black
cover,
covers.
and
Yeah,
that's where the fridge where the worms were.
They either had the
So-
black. They either had the black covers, or they had the little curtain bar that went. Did you ever see the curtain bar?
Yeah.
It was a little curtain, like you open the curtain, and
No,
there was
they
all
had
the
they had the
magazines.
black covers,
Yeah.
and obviously
Yeah.
they were limited on the black covers. They had more
Yeah.
magazines than covers. So I'm opening the fridge that's in front of me, and I'm like,
Titties, 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 titties.
I'm walking away with my worms, like, dude.
I got something else to think about
He's all
today.
he's all walking up to the counter, all fingering the worms. Like,
My
the fuck is
my
going
dad's
on?
waiting for me in the car. Like, what took so long? I'm like, I was just checking, making sure they were good worms. You know,
Oh, yeah.
we don't want no shitty worms out there.
These worms feel great. Like, what the fuck?
I never had the courage to actually
Oh,
like peek
yeah.
at one. It was one of those Asian markets, you know what I mean? And they're
Yeah.
all they do is watch you when you walk in, you know what I mean? So I was just like,
Jesus.
mhm.
Yeah, they're very lively worms. That's. Hold on. Yeah.
Reminds me of Janet. Like,
Jesus Christ.
I better call her.
fuck, we should go.
God, yeah.
That's a good name. That's not related to anything at all. You guys want to go fucking eat somewhere?
I'm-
I can't. I gotta bring food to the wife.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, I gotta bring her sushi.
Oh, speaking of,
Oh no, this is my buddy that's like doing his 2-week notice at his job that he's been at forever.
no way.
I'll call him back.
We're about to wrap it up, so we can go fucking grab
That's
some
all right.
food
I'll
and
call him
stuff.
back when we get out of here.
Sweet. Yeah, because I mean he's got to go to Longview, and I don't
This
want
was
to.
a great episode. I think we should have him on again.
100%.
sure.
If he's down,
Because the stories are great. I ended up talking a lot more, and I feel really bad. Like,
that's good.
it was
These
a
stories were badass, honestly.
The way,
Which
which
stories?
one? What's that?
the fishing stories,
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
everything, bro.
I thought it was gonna be boring, but no, it was
What the hell, man?
He's not a boring guy, okay? Like, Jesus
I was literally
Christ.
like, Mano, I was like, I hope I can be interesting the whole time.
No, yeah, no. I was telling you, don't worry about it, bro. We're
Dude,
gonna
this
figure it
turned
out.
all the way into like where we found porn. Like,
What fishing stories did we even talk
fuck?
about?
The birth of our souls. Like,
Crabbing?
Oh, crabbing.
Crabbing,
Okay,
catching
that's
crabs.
yeah, with Mercedes. Anyway, this has been the Go Deeper podcast. Before the Avion, which one? The Avion? Pass him the Avion. Are you gonna take a shot?
Oh, Jesus Christ, that bottle's heavy. Hey, grab it, man. What the fuck?
Don't drop it.
You're behind.
Before
the
we
camera.
leave, plug all your social medias where the people can find you. Like you got the YouTube and you got
Instagram. That's about it.
yeah,
Fish and Forage.
Fish and Forage.
Fish and Forage. It's fish the and
No, I think it's just and.
the word
Andy,
and
yeah.
fish and forage.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm gonna plug it right here
Yeah,
so the
check him
people
out.
can.
It's good shit. Yeah,
Right here on the corner or this
Yeah.
corner.
Right, it'll be right in front.
It'll be-
it'll
it'll-
like right a little bubble like right
Yeah,
here.
it'll
Like
yeah.
that's where he put my name last time as like special co-host.
Yeah.
Because I'm special, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, you're absent for so long.
I'm kind of special.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck, we're getting canceled.
I
God
fucked
damn
up.
it.
I fucked up when Troy was on. I put special guest. I forgot to change it.
Holy shit.
I fucked
He
up.
was a guest. But he is kind of a guest. He was there at the beginning, and he was a co-host, and then he just fucking bailed. And I love him.
I like how that was the next thing. Like, all right, pull it back.
No, but seriously, like I wish he was on here more. He's fucking awesome.
some?
He wants you to smell the cork.
Oh, there goes the
Uh-oh.
fucking one shot.
Repairing file.
All right, we're peacing out. Zach, thank you for fucking coming on, bro.
Thank
Until
you for
next
having
time,
me.
we're gonna have to
All right,
break. We're gonna have to have you
For
back
sure,
on.
thank
Until
you.
next
Yeah,
time, the Go
yeah.
Deeper podcast on all social medias, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to subscribe.
Whatever camera's working right now,
Yeah.
that's the fucker I'm looking at. Yeah, that's it.
And if you don't subscribe, your mom has Dungeon of Scraps. All right, until next time.
Yes, I wish crabs on
Wait,
your
can
mom.
we talk to your mom real quick?
Peace.
Go up here.
Nice. Hell yeah.